Alright, so I'm officially trapping from work. Alright, so I'm officially trapping from work now. You know, I'm recording this new NBA Youngboy review, and I have to say, it is a utter improvement from his last project. Now, of course, NBA Youngboy is an up-and-coming new rapper, and I wish he was featured on XXL because he actually could become famous and mildly enjoyable. But no, they did not. And you know what? He came out with this newest album, and it's utterly better than his last album. But this is like shit going to manure, really. I mean, it still have utter problems, and he's kind of a boring MC, especially with a track like Overdose, which kind of reminds me of why J. Cole had that whole album King Overdose. But this guy, he kind of contradicts himself, where he says that he's not a gangster or a thug, but he rhymes about killing people all throughout this whole album. A little bit strange, don't you think? And he has a line on here where he says that he'll replace the gunpowder with cocaine, which I'm wondering how your gun's gonna shoot. I mean, a little bit dumb, and who still use gunpowder for their guns, you know, shit like that. But on the song Preach, he says that his grandfather called him a bati boy, which literally means gay in patois slang. So he was calling him gay. A little bit strange that he would actually admit that, but I guess he was talking about shooting guns and shit like that. A little bit odd. On the song Diamond Teeth Samurai, it sounds a little bit too much like the Hot Boys and also Juvenile. Hell, he even samples word by word Lil Wayne. And it's a little odd because on We Poppin', they have Birdman on here, so I guess he cleared the sample with him. But it sounds a little bit too much like Lil Wayne's Block is Hot, like a big ripoff. Instead of a sample, it's like a copy and paste, tell you the truth. Alright, Outside Today, you know, he has a good little melody to it and stuff like that. But still, NBA Youngboy says free Kevin Gates, and Kevin Gates been free since January. It would have been more relevant if he said free Meek Mill because he just got out of jail. You know, it would have been much cooler. And this was near his album date. So yeah, pretty odd. Missed opportunity there. Astronaut Kid, which is about him getting high. So yeah. And Solar Eclipse, he has one of the dumbest lines where he says that his diamond is as wet as water. Like, this is the lyrical complexity that we're getting from this young man. And when he's not dropping jewels like that, he's talking about and pretty much snitching on his friends and himself, I guess. Like on the song Solar Eclipse, he talked about sleeping with, oh, hold on. On the song Astronaut Kid, he talks about sleeping with his baby mama and don't tell his girlfriend, but you kind of already told her on this track. And we know how he treats women. I mean, that's how you think he earned the name UFC Youngboy. Like, come on, man. We all saw the video. And I don't mean to make him sound like a villain. Speaking of villain, on the song Villain, you know, he drops a cool Chief Keef reference, which is pretty okay. But on the song Traumatize, which is a pretty good track, you know, Little Baby, he talks about how he saw his friend do suicide in front of his eyes and how it really affected him. And I really thought that that was a touching, a very nice vocal point for the album and something that we should all think about. And if this album hit more of a emotional feel to it, like NBA Youngboy has a story. He broke his neck when he was like 3 and he had to wear bolts on his head. That's why every time I see his head, it kind of reminds me of Frankenstein. More like Frankenstein Youngboy to me, if you ask me. But hey, that's just me. And on the song Right or Wrong, you know, Future, he says that he's addicted to pre-meth or whatever the hell it is, and that he never have a relapse. You know, Future, he continuously talks about his drug abuse in the past, you know, stuff like that. So hey, Promethazine, that's what I was talking about, yeah. Future, he talked about his drug abuse in the past, so I really hope that he doesn't really die, you know. And on Rich the Kid's album, he talked about how he might have to go to rehab. But hey, I have to ask Future, is it all worth it? On the song Worth It, you know, NBA Youngboy, he talks about having 4 kids and he wants one more kid. Like, damn, this guy really likes to spread out his seed. But while we're talking about spreading out seed, you know, let's talk about the track Public Figure, where he says that he's the seed of the devil, which was pretty nasty. Actually, he said that his eyes are all red like the seed of the devil, but he calls himself the devil on the track anyway, so hey. And he also calls himself a black Egyptian for some reason, even though he's in America, but whatever. Anywho, I guess that's the whole woke conscious shit where we all come from Egypt or whatever. But on the song Rags to Riches, which is more like a freestyle that only lasts for like a minute or two, you know, not a very interesting song. I'm glad he's doing it off the dome, but I'm gonna forget about this track in about 5 minutes. Overall, this track is better than his last release, but worser than you can imagine. I see no progression in his music or his style at all, and I hope he stays out of prison, because this guy must have lawyers made out of angels, the way he keeps on getting in trouble and getting out of it. But overall, I'm gonna give this album a 4. Wasn't really feeling it. Please like, subscribe, share this video, and I'm out. How did you all feel about the new NBA Youngboy album? Peace.